This is the Kimura trap system. Hickey Machado did a massive seminar on this about how to get the Kimura, how to set up. We're going to go through a slightly different modification of it. If you guys come around that side, it's easier to kind of see. Two things on the Kimura that I believe kind of aren't addressed properly is the elbow separation away from the body and how we attack the Kimura. So if I attack the Kimura and Mel's elbows in to her body and I'm on the outside, this is quite hard to finish the Kimura, even though it kind of seems it, but the elbow's out of place. And number two, yes, that I see people use more of a strength technique. And there's nothing wrong with it. They're kind of going lever to lever, put the weight on, then lever and drive it down. The downfall about it is I give her a window of opportunity to use her right hand. So anytime that someone attacks your Kimura and they put weight, if your hand goes to my armpit, now think about it this way, it says, if you push me over 90 degrees, you push me onto your hand. So if you push me down towards your hip, I can't come up and it's very easy for her to attack. Secondly, it says, I want to push the hand down, so by pushing me further away from the hand, it makes my grip weaker. I see a lot of people when we're here, they attack the armpit or the elbow, but they push me this way, which means I'm on the arm. Where if you push me backwards and hip escape away from me, you're going to put yourself in a far better attack position. So I'm just going to start with that as a very, very basic drill to get everyone used to the Kimura and the Kimura defense. I'm going to do this in a second. So from here, nice grip, roll over from here. I'm in the armpit, look towards me, push me down to here, hip escape away, come up on top. And here we are. And then, Bob, step away, come up on top. Just really easy drill to start class. 1, 2, 3. Solid. The second thing about it is, well, I mentioned the elbow. So a lot of the time that we're here, anytime that I'm trying to drive over the arm, she gets access to the underhook and the armpit push as well. So the way that I do it is kind of reverse engineering. What I try to do is I bring my elbow under and I come through. So let me explain. When we're here, the elbows are nice and tight. That's the frame system. And if I move backwards, the frame system normally comes up, which allows me to get underneath the frame system. Secondly, is if I come up too far, there's no weight on the hips. You can hip escape, use the frame system, start to put me back in the guard and recover. So what I try to do is I try and turn the hips to come under. So if she tries to hip escape away from me, so I'm pinning her like I'm pinching. So I'm pinching, so backstroke, hand out wide, so it's like a frame system. Roll, come under, and now we're in the Kimura. Notice that my knee and my elbow are tight. So if Mel tries to use her right hand to push, everything is trapped into, so I'm not here. So even if she goes to push, now it's trapped in tight. Okay, so frame system from the person on the bottom, she has the inside position, which is bad for me. Have your arm out that way. So if your arm's this way, I'm a cylinder, and I roll. Put a post system out. Drive my hips into her, come under, and super tight. Step, driving off this, frame, and the Kimura is pretty tight. Once again, if she does use right hand, we have the ability to step over the armbar. So everything's pretty much set up. So we're not using a strength technique. We're kind of crushing and just rolling my body onto the arm. One more time. So she's got a frame system on the inside. Hand goes out wide, drive my hips into her, come under, keep it tight. Kimura, if she does use her right hand from here, like you've got the ability to nudge it, set it up. The elbow's on the outside of my forearm, wrist from here. To make the Kimura work, don't do too much more than this. Roll your top hand down, roll your bottom hand down. That's pretty much it, Kimura. Okay, so this is just the preamble of the class, and then what we're going to do, we're going to start to have a look at a secondary defense. 1, 2, 3. This first part is kind of like sticky hands, and I've done the move, commander, Kimura, and I'm tight. So Mel's going to extend a hand, and one thing is if she escapes, she'll put the hand behind the back to grip break to get the Kimura. It's one of the most common reactions. Specifically if they know that they can't play on this side here because I've got the arm. So on the Kimura, we can just go the Kimura system, keep nice and tight. The part is I want a sticky hand. So this very specific, not pacific, about where my hand goes. Okay, so as I apply the Kimura, she stretches and put it out, my hand goes to this side. And I might not be able to hold it because sometimes it's awkward, but I'm in this position. I'm not in this position. The reason being is this: if I apply tension and pressure onto the arm, there's nothing to stop Mel from bringing her hand back in front of her face and reframing. Where, go back please, put your hand back. Where if I have my hand here, anytime she brings her hand in front of my face, the Kimura system's pretty trapped on straight away. The part I see people do is to have the elbows wide. So Mel's got the ability to pull her elbow back in towards her body because there's no space. So there's too much space. So when I'm here, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take my elbow out to squeeze my elbows together on the arm. So if she tries to retract the elbow back to her body, it's caught. Okay, so the system. That was the hardest part about the whole move, is that little elbow squeeze together. And when we put it to the next part, you'll understand why. Okay, so turn, low level Kimura, I'm feeling really good. She goes through, so stick your hands, come through, squeeze my elbows together, my knees come in super tight. Okay, arm crawl. So I'm gonna shuck my elbow, so this hand stays here, I'm just moving it. I'm gonna shuck my elbow out to here, so that it's a better tension onto the arm. What I see people do is they go here, and they lose the elbow because they forget the squeeze. So from here, elbows squeeze together, hand. So keep the squeeze, and it might just be micro walks. Slowly take your shoulder, not your head, down to the ground, and this is your first cutting armbar. To defend it, they've got to move their arm. Got it. So from here, cutting armbar, grip it, boom, nice and tight on the Kimura setup, boom, stick your hand as she rescues, stick your hand, boom, squeeze together. Little victories, take the arm out, slowly just drive my head this way, not this way. So I'm increasing the tension on the arm, and you're probably going to get the tap from here. So as she goes to defend the arm, it's pretty much straight on. This is going to come on super fast, so do not do this hard, okay? I understand that my partner can take their hand towards their belt. I've got two things that I can do to make this better for me and worse for her. Number one, if my hands are level, i.e. level, it's easy for her to grab a belt. I take the hand out this way, she grabs a belt. It's very hard for her. So the more that I'm right shoulder or hip shoulder away, the harder it is. It's not impossible, but the harder it is. Just make sure you here. Keep this squeeze, and it's just little walks, and then your head's going down towards your elbow, not in front. If it goes down in front, it doesn't do much, where it's on the side, it attacks the arm more. Would you like to see that?
Yeah, do it to someone else.
Just, yeah. How's your shoulders and elbows?
Actually, my elbow's not that great.
Steve? How's your shoulders? The only reason I'm saying this is, slow down just a very, slow it down just a fraction, Steve. Is this does come on fast, so please don't throw this on. It's quite a nasty little submission. If you guys have rolled me before, this is one of my favourite little subs I do from everywhere. I like it. So tight system here. So as I do it, Steve's hand goes round, and it's hard to keep it, so I just come in here. The part that I see people do is they move out now and they lose the elbow line because the elbow's on the inside. So it's really important that I'm here, I squeeze my elbows together. So like, the elbows come together. I'm taking my head down to my right to apply pressure. Most times from here is if I apply pressure, they're going to go, my arm's hurting, I rescue my arm. As I rescue the arm, it's pretty much here. You can go a wrist lock here as well, or just here. Don't lift your body. All you're doing now is squeezing your elbows in to put it on. So once again, I don't want to see you guys going here and lose the elbow line because they can bring the elbows in. So keep your elbows super tight, keep your hand hidden. It's like, you know, I got told, make sure he can't see your hand, so it's like a trap. You know, like surprise. Okay, so crawl, 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 pressure, not this way because there's no tension on the arm. Keep the pressure here. Sorry. He rescues the arm because he goes, oh, that hurts. Boom, and just apply pressure. Kimura trap number 1. 1, 2, 3. We're going to run exactly the same system, so you guys get a little bit of a rehash on the same system again. And side control, nice and tight. I don't want you guys doing it from here because he gets too much inside position. It's nice and tight. Kimura, he rescues. So just remember your hand, stick your hand, comes around my hands here. This is the most important part. This frame should be crushed because my body's nice and tight. First things first is I bring my elbows in, super tight. Okay, squeeze, okay. little victories, 1, 2, 3, 4. Take it more down towards the hip and less out here. The reason being is if I'm out here, the distance from my elbows towards his hips is greater. He can move his hips a lot more left and right. Yep. Where if I'm here, I'm on his hip, it's harder for him to move his hips because I'm on the hip. So the reason why I'm not out here is it gives him a lot more play with his hips versus here. Okay, so I'm trying to get this guy and he's super tough. Okay, so the reason why my head goes to the ground is to go head to the ground, shin 1, shin 2. I now have a huge valley to break the arm. If my partner does try to sit up, it's very difficult to do. Secondly is that my shin's across the throat. So it's not going to choke him, but it's not the most comfortable position for my partner to be in. I need to have my head down. I need to have a valley to put the arm into to break. What I see people do is they keep kind of like very straight, and I don't get the tension to pull the arm. What I mean by that is, I'm trying to not too tight. Okay. So we're here. Once again, the more I go out wider, the more that my partner has to play to rescue the elbow and move his hips. So I'm here, I'll try and keep it down here, head goes down, okay, so 1, 2. So think about this way, is when I'm here, I can pull his arm all the way into my hip zone. That would weird. Where if I'm down here, I don't have a lot of space, so I do want to be here. Now, worst comes to worst is like, if I'm having a lot of trouble and my partner grabs my shin, takes off the head, okay, from here, bring it over, and now you've got the arm fully isolated anyway, and just complete the cutting armbar. You shouldn't get to that. You should have, by the time you're on the shin and you create that the fight should be done. There are some really stubborn people, Sarah, who won't tap from this. Right? No. So, just they're young, the elbows are still intact, the shoulders haven't, you know what I mean? Those young under 21-year-olds, they can do this with their arms and they don't wake up in the morning sore. So you've got to find that some of the younger people that are more flexible, you're going to have to do the rollover and come to the back here and really crank it on. But it's there if you need it. But for today's session, you shouldn't have to do that. And again, yes.
If you're doing it to him and he wraps his legs around you and somehow sort of drags you down.
Who?
That's a young person.
Not me.
Steve is like,
How are they going to get their legs around me?
just they're flexible. I don't know. Like,
I have zero idea how they're going to get their legs around me.
do it again.
Okay, so from here, guys, okay, forwards, Kimura, follow, so we're tracking the Kimura. So track, so this part is elbow and hand. Does that make sense?
Come on, Steve.
Come on! To block the hips out, we're going down towards the hips. I do like to go right elbow, head goes down from here. I'm trying to do the cutting out. I'm going to release it so it's not coming on. Head goes to the ground and bring my shins over from here. Form a valley. I put it. If my partner does try to put their legs around me or whatever like that, I've got this ability to switch it to the standard armbar as well. So like the standard armbar's here, like no matter which way, the arm's fully isolated away from the body. I can take either the cutting armbar or the prone armbar.
What happens if Steve grabs your right leg and stuffs it into
He can't.
his- Why not?
Come here.
Steve?
No, here. Come here. Jump in that.
You do this now.
No. So from here, and this is the part that that a lot of people misunderstand is that I've taken your space away, I've taken your attacks away. So as I start the Kimura system, I'm going to go like, is from here, as I roll, so do you grab my foot, like you said?
Oh, I'm waiting for you to get up top.
Because the arm's here, you know what I mean? Like just roll with the armbar, make it super tight. Foot here, just clear your foot so the foot comes out. Kick. And the armbar's there. Because the arm's isolated from the body, like she's always fighting at a negative. They're never fighting where they get that really good control. Even if they catch the foot in the half guard, and I'm going super slow, like I'm not even doing it fast, it's my game. As long as I keep that arm, attention to the head, I'll always win that fight. Change partners, guys, 1, 2, 3. The Kimura from the top, once again, it's a very, very similar system. Anytime that I'm attacking the Kimura from the top and I create space, she has the ability to push and roll me off the gap. So one thing I like to do for me is keep my elbows on the inside, 2 on 1. So there's no space, so from here, Kimura, attack. She brings her hand out. So one thing I see is people get that, and as a I guess, base reaction, people try and cup the hands together. So I am technically in a head arm choke position, and I am also susceptible to the roll to my left hand side because I don't have a post on that side. So even though I'm on mount. So what I see people do, one of the most common things, people kind of post out and they allow the person to get into guard while they have a head arm choke set up, which is really, that's really bad for me. So one thing we're going to work on is just a counter to this, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand lower than my elbow. So if Mel gives me a really good squeeze, like she's trying to, so I see people, so if I go here, it isolates the arm, here we are. So we start our first attack. So anytime that we're in a head arm position from on top, which look, it's not common, but I see people try and drive up out of it and they get rolled out off the mount, and you shouldn't get rolled off mount. You shouldn't. So we just kind of go high five Kimura, miss it from here. So all I'm doing is I take my hand lower, drive forward, position from here, start driving. My partner's super strong. I'm having trouble. Man, they're super strong. Disengage, side control, here we go. Walk my head down and we're in the game. So I know it sounds really sucky to lose the mount position. I can finish it from out, but I'm going to get a far better sub from here. Second thing about it for me is I'm going to jump back up on mount as soon as I get the opportunity and take another 4 points. Right, so, yeah. It's not my first rodeo. Okay, so 2 on 1 and low, not 2 on 1 high. Yep, 2 on 1 low. Boom, Kimura, my partner, as I go, the Kimura just wraps it. I'm in the head arm choke position, palm to palm, drive my hand lower, push, cup my hands, drive, Kimura. So you should be able to get the cutting arm bar from here. Right, kick the legs, disengage. Here we go, play the game. Walk, 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 drive. From here. New partners, yes.
Question. When you're
Sorry, new partners, guys, 1, 2, 3. Yes, sir.